in the St. Augustine area. Hopefully everyone's enjoying this amazing morning in St. Augustine, Florida, our nation's oldest city, also known as the Ancient City. My name is Brian Bliss, and I'm broadcasting for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network broadcast for Thursday, April 30th, 2026, our last day of April. We're broadcasting live this morning. It's Kelly and I on board this beautiful 40-foot Carver that's located at Marina Munch. Special thanks to Admiral Yacht Sales for providing this wonderful boat for us to do the broadcast from this morning. We're at the Marina Munch at the English Landing Marina, which is up the San Sebastian River here in St. Augustine, Florida. Well, hopefully everyone's having an amazing morning this morning. It's a absolutely beautiful day here at St. Augustine, Florida. We conduct this broadcast every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, every day that has a T in it, on VHF Channel 72 at 9 o'clock. We do this to share important information with our boating and cruising community while you're in North Florida, specifically the St. Augustine area. We also have a St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. This is a very useful Facebook page for our boating and cruising community. I highly recommend you check it out. It's a private page. It's got over 4,000 members that are boaters just like you. It's a great way to share information about services, to sell products, and to just share important information with our cruising community. This morning's broadcast will run about 45 minutes to an hour, and please know there will be several breaks in this morning's broadcast. This is a live VHF channel in one of the most popular destinations on the East Coast here in Florida. So we will take several breaks in this morning's broadcast for other people to use the channel, and I highly recommend, I highly encourage people to get involved, and if you'd like to share any information during this morning's broadcast, that's why we do it, is to share important information with our boating community. We will have an open forum and a roll call later where we will discuss particular topics. So have a pen and a piece of paper handy. There may be some useful information. We're going to talk about some weather and tides. We're going to talk about some local events around St. Augustine. We're going to have our Ancient City roll call and open forum, as well as have a segment on marine information, as well as our daily blessing. So make you a fresh pot of coffee, get a pen and a piece of paper handy. There may be some useful information this morning. We're going to take our first break to clear the channel. Please stand by. We'll be right back with weather and tide information. Stand by. Welcome back, boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. Good morning. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing morning this morning in St. Augustine, Florida, our nation's oldest city. My name is Brian Bliss. We're conducting the St. Augustine Cruisers Network broadcast for Thursday, April 30th, 2026. Coming to you live this morning from this beautiful Carver. This is a 40-foot motor vessel that was provided to us by the Admiral's Yacht Sales team. Special thanks to Admiral Yacht Sales, and we're broadcasting live from the Marina Munch at English Landing up the San Sebastian River this morning. The St. Augustine's a very popular destination, both for boaters and land lovers. It's such an amazing city, so much history here. There's so much to do here in the city of St. Augustine. I believe The city of St. Augustine is a very popular destination, not just because it's an amazing city, but also because we have a very convenient inlet in proximity to the city. It makes it very convenient for our boating and cruising community to stop in, reprovision, and get some much-needed time on land, as well as to get right offshore when you're done doing that. With this convenience and that proximity of the inlet to how close it is to the city, we do experience very strong currents here in the St. Augustine area. So I want to caution you and let you know, well, I'll say it several times this morning, but please pay attention to your currents here. We do get some strong currents here in the St. Augustine area, and the best way to anticipate your currents is to know your tides. So I'd like to share the tidal information with you this morning. I get my tidal information from the usharbors.com website. The times I give you will be for the city docks. And those of you looking for slack water in the downtown St. Augustine area, slack water is 50 minutes past the tidal change. That's 50 minutes past the tidal change for slack water. Today, Thursday, we just had our high tide about 8:20 this morning. You can see the creek and the rivers, the banks, everything. It's real full. We just coming off that flood tide. We're going to have a low tide this afternoon, about 2:35. Followed by a high tide this evening, just before 9 o'clock at 8:51. Tomorrow, Friday, the first day of May, we're going to have a high tide about 9 o'clock in the morning and a low tide about 3:15 in the afternoon. I do know that most people, when you're cruising and living on board your boat, you become a weather person. So I share this information with you just to help you calibrate, make sure you're on the right page. I can't overemphasize how important it is to know your tides so you can anticipate the currents and use caution when you're boating in and around the St. Augustine area. We do get those strong currents. Now for our marine forecast I get from the NOAA website. Today, Thursday, we're going to have west winds, 5 to 10 knots. And then this afternoon, we're going to have that sea breeze that's been kicking up every afternoon. It's going to be about 10 to 15 out of the southeast this afternoon. Seas are going to be 2 to 5 feet offshore with a little light chop on the end of the waterways. That chop will increase with that sea breeze this afternoon. We do have weather approaching, so you will see some clouds today, and the winds are forecast to go out of the north after midnight tonight. Tomorrow, Friday, we're going to have northeast winds, 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet with a light chop on the inland waters. Then Saturday, we're going to have winds back out of the south. We got several little fronts coming through. We got some much needed rain coming to the area. But Saturday we're going to have southwest winds at 5 to 10 knots. But then they're going to come out and they're going to switch up out of the west and increase as that weather comes through. It's going to be, we're forecasted to have westerly winds 20 to 25 knots on the afternoon Saturday. It's going to build our seas offshore to 3 to 6 foot. And our inland waterways are going to be rough. We're going to have those strong north winds through Saturday night and into Sunday. So make your preparations now. Our weather forecast I get from the Weather Channel. Today, Thursday, we're going to have a high about 85 degrees with a low of 67 degrees. It's going to be partly cloudy with a slight chance of rain this afternoon, about a 24% chance of rain. Tomorrow, Friday, our high is going to be about 80 degrees with a low of 68. Still going to have the clouds with possible rain. We got about a 50% chance of rain for Friday. Now Saturday, those highs are going to be in the 80s, lows in the high 50s. They're calling for lows about 59 degrees. That's perfect open window weather there. But we are going to have an increase in cloudiness and rain with the winds and possible thunderstorms. There's an 80% chance of rain on Saturday. It's much needed rain for the area. We're very dry here in Northeast Florida. Then after that front goes through on Saturday, Sunday, the highs are only going to be in the 70s. Nice thing about St. Augustine is it's such an amazing city. Doesn't matter whether it rains or it's beautiful out, it's just an amazing city to enjoy. I'm not a weatherman at all, but I do want to caution you about those currents in and around the city, so make sure you use caution and know your tides and be aware of the strong currents we get here in the St. Augustine area. That's going to wrap up our weather and tidal portion of this morning's broadcast. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have our roll call and open forum, so please stand by. Welcome back, boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. Good morning, and hopefully everyone's having an amazing day here in the ancient city, our nation's oldest city, St. Augustine, Florida. My name is Brian Bliss, and I'm with Kelly this morning. We're broadcasting from the English Landing at the Marina Munch at English Landing Marina up the San Sebastian River. Right now is the time where we'd like to do our roll call, our ancient city roll call with our open forum. But before we do that, I'd like to tell you about today's sponsor. And also want to tell you I've got the Code Brown Pump Out boat going by us right now. Waving at the Code Brown Pump Out guys. They do a great job of keeping our waters clean here in St. Augustine. Thank you so much, Code Brown. Also want to tell you about Anchor Eats. Anchor Eats is a nautical delivery service here in St. Augustine. They're like the DoorDash on the water. They'll bring you hot food, cold drinks, ice cream, marine supplies, and groceries. They bring it right to your boat. You can find out more about Anchor Eats by checking out their website, getanchoreats.com, or check out their Facebook page for their weekly specials. Anchor Eats, connecting land to sea. And now we'd like to get going with our Ancient City roll call. Those of you that are in the St. Augustine area that are listening in this morning and would like to check in, right now is the time where we're going to do our roll call check-in. If you'd like to check in, please do so now. this morning. And for everyone else that's listening, we're going to get on with our open forum. This is a portion of the broadcast where I encourage participation, where we talk about subjects and topics that are important to our boating community. This is the portion where we can share some information. If you have anything you'd like to share, please feel free to chime in at any break in the broadcast. Now, are there any boaters in the area in St. Augustine or North Florida that require any information about services or products while you're here in St. Augustine? If so, please let us know now. I want to remind our boaters about our Facebook page, our St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. It is the private page, has over 4,000 members. It's a great way to learn, to get information about some of the great services that are available here in the St. Augustine area. I just spoke about it earlier. The Code Brown, our mobile pump out guy, he's going right by us. He's hard at work up the San Sebastian River this morning. That's the Code Brown pump out service, and you can find out more information about some of the services provided and available here in the St. Augustine area by checking out that Facebook page. Or Anchor Eats actually records all of the broadcasts that we do for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network, and they play it on the Anchor Eats YouTube channel. On Tuesdays, I like to talk about several of our different vendors and services that are available here in the St. Augustine. Some of those include Code Brown and the Stash Island diving service. I give a lot of information about the different services available here in the St. Augustine area on Tuesdays. And you can find out more about that by checking out that Anchor Eats YouTube channel. Check out the press broadcast. If you look at the Tuesday broadcast, you can get great information about some of the services available in and around the city of St. Augustine. Now, is there anyone in the St. Augustine area that's selling anything or donating or trying to lighten their load while you're in the St. Augustine area? If so, please let us know now. Again, remember that Facebook page. We have a lot of our members will go on that Facebook page to sell things or get rid of things. So it's very useful. You might be able to pick up some stuff, or if you're trying to lighten your load while you're here, you may be able to get rid of some stuff, some items. So just check out that St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. Now it's the lost and found portion. Has anybody lost anything or found anything they'd like to share with the group? If so, please do so now. Now, is there any boaters out there that are departing the area that have any questions regarding their departure, whether it's about the towns north or south of us, or just general departure questions? If so, if you have any questions, please let us know now. And now it's a portion for our general announcement section. Is there anyone out there that'd like to wish a happy birthday, happy anniversary, share any kind of general announcement with the group? If so, please do so now. I like sharing a little information. St. Augustine's such an incredible little city. You never know what you're going to see here. The other night we were walking around out there on the docks at the municipal marina. We were talking with gentleman Matt that works there, one of the ambassadors of the city there at the St. Augustine Marina. And he told us about a very important boat that was located down on the fuel dock that evening. Oh, Kelly and I went down, snapped a photo of it, and it was no other than the Last Mango. That's right, Jimmy Buffett's old boat was right here in St. Augustine, Florida. It was about 2 nights ago out there on the fuel dock. Thank you. Big, huge thanks to Matt for pointing that out for us. snapped a photo, you can go to the St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page and check out that photo. It's of the last mango, Jimmy Buffett's old boat. God rest in peace there, Jimmy Buffett. That's going to wrap up our open forum this morning and our Ancient City roll call. I'd like to thank everybody that participated this morning. Remember to check out that Facebook page, St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. It's a private one. Also, check out that Anchor Eats Facebook page. Anchor Eats is a great concept. It's a great tool to have in your bag for different options when you're cruising through the St. Augustine area. They run looper specials, they have pizza night, taco night, and they also have their sandbar patrol, so check out that. Anchor Eats YouTube channel for the previous broadcast, and check out that Anchor Eats Facebook page for their weekly specials. That's going to wrap up our open forum and roll call. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some events happening in and around the city of St. Augustine. Please stand by. Welcome back, boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing morning this morning in St. Augustine, Florida, our nation's oldest city. We're broadcasting for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network broadcast this morning. We're coming to you live from the Marina Munch at English Landing up the San Sebastian River this morning. St. Augustine's an amazing city, very convenient for our boating and cruising community, very popular destination for our boaters. There's always something to do here in St. Augustine, and we could spend the entire morning talking about all the different events happening in and around the city of St. Augustine. So what I've done is I've found a very useful website I'd like to share with you. It's called visitstaugustine.com. This is a very useful website. It helps you get information about events and festivals and just different things happening in and around the city. Some of these include the farmers markets that we have in and around the city and some of the festivals and events that are happening. Check that out. That's the visitstaugustine.com website. It's very informative. And also, St. Augustine has a hidden gem called the Amphitheater. A lot of people don't know about this. The Amphitheater is an outdoor venue that's just south of the city. It's very popular, and they get very big-time headliner bands that come to the Amphitheater. If you're in St. Augustine for any amount of time, especially through the rains this weekend, if you end up staying here for any amount of time, check out theamp.com and see if they got some of your favorite band coming. You may be able to catch one of your favorite bands right here at the Amphitheater in St. Augustine while you're here. Some of the people coming to the Amphitheater, we got George Thorogood coming on May 7th. We got Iration and Soja coming on May 17th. Willie Nelson on May 21st. And then Black Crows, Vince Gill, and Men at Work. They get lots of headliner bands. And also, they have a really popular event they do on the weekends. I highly recommend checking it out. It is their farmers market they do on Saturday. This is a great event. It has hundreds of vendors, live music, has a jam session, has all kinds of stuff going on. It has great Bloody Marys. They have a great vegetable selection. That is from 8:30 to 12:30 on Saturdays at the farmers Market. Check that out. Then I know I've told you about the St. Augustine Cruisers Network. We have our Facebook page to share information. Well, some of that information we share are events that we plan in and around the city of St. Augustine. We have Sarah and a bunch of our different volunteers that will plan different events in different locations to help our boating and cruising community learn about some of the different locations and cool spots in and around the city of St. Augustine. You can scroll down on the Facebook page to the event section, click on events, and you can check out some of the cool events coming up. We actually have a really cool event coming up next Tuesday. This is an event going on that you can go to by land or by sea. It's at the Grouper Shack up the San Sebastian River. It's going to be next Tuesday. I invite you to come out and meet the fellow cruisers next Tuesday at 1800 hours at the Grouper Shack. It's an outdoor venue. It's going to be a great thing to check out. Check out more information about that and some of these other things by checking out the St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. And then I want to give you a little information today where we're broadcasting from right now. It's called the Marina Munch. It's located at English Landing Marina. On Thursday nights, they have a great jam session. They invite local musicians to come out. They have live music. This is like a food truck village at the marina. It really is a cool thing. Kelly and I were down here last Thursday. It was really fun. Lots of music, lots of cool people here. I highly encourage you to check that out. That's the Marina Munch for their improv jam sessions on Thursdays. Coming back, man?
Yep.
And then those of you that don't know, Kelly and I, we're both affiliated with, we're the owners of Anchor Eats. And Kelly is the behind-the-scenes person for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network. She does all the recording. She goes out and helps us get information. And she's so funny. She likes talking on the radio, but she doesn't really like talking on the radio. I don't know if anybody kind of knows that. But I love to put her on the spot, and then she likes to do the event section. So Kelly is just chomping at the bit to get on the radio this morning. So she's going to share some information about some more events going on in and around the city. So without further ado, here's Kelly.
Good morning, everybody. I found some new events. Some of you may know them, some of you may not. First one is Music in the Garden at the Leitner Museum on April 30th from 6 to 8 p.m.
That's today.
That's today. Then at 17 King Grand Opening, which is at 17 King Street, May 1st at 11 a.m., May 2nd at 10 p.m. There's two different times. There's live music all day. There is a different artist every 90 minutes. There's a food and wine tasting as well. Then 3 p.m. on Thursday. Yeah, that's tonight, right? Barely Electrics is playing at the Conch House at 3 p.m. If you have a Kentucky Derby hat, there is a Kentucky Derby hat contest on Saturday, May 2nd at 12 p.m. 35 San Marco Avenue. Winners are announced at 6 p.m. I don't know if I'm going to decorate one. You might see me there. You'll probably see the hat before you'll see me, or it'll be as big as me.
The cowboy will be there.
Oh, well, the cowboy doesn't have to decorate a hat because we all know you can't miss that. Then there is a Pirate Debauchery Bingo Saturday at 7 p.m. at the Willie Gallimore Center. That is 399 Riberia Street. There are tickets. They're $25 each. They have hors d'oeuvres. You can buy bingo cards, cash bar, but most importantly, proceeds go to local charities. So if you want to spend money on some good things, I don't know what local charities, maybe they'll have them listed before the event starts. If there's any events that you find are really interesting or you want to let us know about, you can put it on the Facebook page, the Cruisers Net private page, if you don't like talking on the radio. If you do like talking on the radio and you want everybody to know about it, you can just chime in anytime during the broadcast. I interrupt Captain Brian all the time, so feel free to interrupt if you need to, right, Brian?
That's right.
All right. And remember, Marina Munch has a jam session tonight. Oh, I think it's 6 to 9. Hopefully, a bunch of the food trucks will be open.
Thank you, Kelly, for chiming in and sharing that information with us. That's just some of the things happening in and around the city of St. Augustine for the next couple days. I think it's so funny. You get to a certain age where your most common sentence that you say is, "Where are my glasses?" It's hilarious. So remember to check out that visitstaugustine.com website, the amp.com website, and also that Cruisers Network Facebook page. Check out the event tonight that's going on at the Marina Munch. It's going to be exciting, lots of fun. And then don't forget, mark your calendars, next Tuesday at the Grouper Shack, it's going to be the Cruiser event of the year. Come and see us by land or sea. That's at the Grouper Shack next Tuesday. That's going to wrap up our local information about events section of this morning's broadcast. We're going to take a quick break, pour some coffee. We're going to have our local marina information portion next. I highly recommend having a pad, piece of paper. Well, that's the same thing. A pad and a pen available. There may be some useful information. Please stand by. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back, boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. Good morning. Hopefully everyone's having a great morning this morning in our nation's oldest city. My name is Brian Bliss, broadcasting with Kelly from the motor vessel, from a beautiful Carver motor vessel at the English Landing Marina this morning. That's where the Marina Munch is. It's going to be having their event tonight. Everyone is familiar with the St. Augustine area, the downtown area. This portion of this morning's broadcast, I'd like to share some more information about some different marinas and different areas that you can explore that are around the St. Augustine area. I am a Northeast Florida native and have been boating on these waters for about 30 years, so I'd like to share a little bit of my information. But if you've transited an area and see some different information, or if you've experienced something different than what I've said, please share with the group. This is our portion where we like to share local marine information with our boating and cruising community. We talked about our inlet before. Our inlet is very convenient to the city, but it does create very strong currents in and around the city. Little information about our inlet is we do get some sandbars and shoaling that are both north and south of the marked channel when you're in the inlet there. With this in mind, I highly recommend staying inside the channel markers if you're outbound all the way to the sea buoy before you make your northern or southern turn. Exactly the same concept. You consider the same thing when you're inbound. Come to the sea buoy before you make your western approach. We do get sandbars and shoaling both north and south of the marked channel here at the inlet. So do not cut your corners unless you have local knowledge. I would stay in the channel all the way to the sea buoy and start your entrance at the sea buoy. And remember that the ebb tide can look a lot different. The inlet can look a lot different on the ebb as opposed to the flood. And we get lots of current in and around that inlet, the Volano Beach area, and downtown St. Augustine. So use caution when using that inlet there. Now, if you're inbound in that inlet, there's nothing like it. You got the lighthouse, you got the cross, you got the fort. It really is an amazing approach to an amazing city. When you're coming in, if you're inbound, you look off your starboard side, you'll see that big white sandy beach right there. Usually, if it's a pretty day, there'll be hundreds of people out there. This is known as Porpoise Point, and this is the inside of the inlet there, but that's in a town called Volano Beach. Volano Beach is a little town just north of St. Augustine. It's very convenient for our boaters and cruisers because they have a grocery store within walking distance right there in Volano Beach. Also in Volano Beach are lots of stores, restaurants, and shops, but most importantly, they have that full-service grocery store called Publix. In Volano Beach, there is a dinghy dock that comes off of the Volano Beach fishing pier. This is a city dock that they use to load water taxis and shuttles, so please do not park in the yellow painted areas. But there is plenty of room for you to tie up there, and you can make the short walk up the pier, and that leads you right into the city of Volano Beach, and you've got Publix right there, and lots of stores, shops, and restaurants, and there's a very good marine supply store there with a very good marine mechanic there. They work on the Anchor Eats boats. They're very knowledgeable. I was there yesterday. That guy is very helpful. If you need anything for your small engines or any kind of questions or any kind of work on your tender, go see those folks over there at that Marine Center in Volano. They're very knowledgeable. Also, remember that dinghy dock in Volano Beach, it's not in any type of wake restriction zone, which means it's open to the wakes of all the boat traffic as well as all that current. So I would highly recommend properly tying your dinghy up if you're going to use that dock. You'll see that fixed bridge up there in that Volano Beach area. This dinghy dock is located on the eastern side of that bridge. Also under that bridge is a great little marina restaurant called Beaches. Go over there and see Mindy. She'll take good care of you. A real popular thing for our boaters and cruisers to do to get their steps in after being on the boat for a while is to walk that bridge. It's got a nice little protected area where you can walk that bridge and you're not in, and you're safe from the traffic. It's kind of a divided area away from the traffic. And the view from the top of the Volano Bridge is amazing. On the western side of that bridge is one of our big three marinas here in St. Augustine. The marina on the west side of that bridge in Volano Beach is called Comanche Cove Marina. This is a full-service marina. This marina offers fuel sales, diesel sales, and they have pretty good prices. And they also offer transient dockage as well as pump-out services. They have shops, stores, and restaurants on their property as well as a full-service boat yard. The nice thing about Comanche Cove Marina is they have a breakwater when you enter into their harbor. This is nice because it cuts out most, if not all of the current. And there can be some pretty strong current in the Volano Beach area. Just be advised, before you go through that breakwater, you will have current on your beam, so use caution there. When you get to the Comanche Cove Marina, they are currently dredging their channel and harbor. So I highly recommend you call them on their direct channel. Their direct channel of contact is channel 68 and channel 16. You contact Comanche Cove on channel 68. They can contact the dredge and have the dredge move out of your way, and you'll make a nice, safe approach into their fuel dock and harbor area. So that's the Comanche Cove Marina that's over in Volano Beach. They monitor channel 6-8. And between the Comanche Cove Marina and that dinghy dock in Volano gives you great access to the stores and attractions and shops that are north of the city. Some of these include the Fountain of Youth, the old jail. There's a CVS and Walgreens up there as well. And then be advised, we do get very strong currents, especially in that Volano Beach area. Now back to the inlet. If you're inbound that inlet, we just talked about the area to the north, that's Volano Beach. If you look to the south when you're coming in that inlet, right at the end of the jetties, you'll see a set of channel markers there. This is the entrance to Salt Run. This is like a lagoon or a dead-end body of water that is between the Anastasia State Park and the Davis Shore area, just south of the city marina. These channel markers lead you back to the city mooring field. There's a Salt Run mooring field that's back there. It's located back there behind the lighthouse. It's real close to the lighthouse there, you'll see. This is the city mooring field. This is the Salt Run mooring field. They also have a dinghy dock located over there at the boat ramp. This dinghy dock is located at the St. Augustine Yacht Club, as well as in front of it's at a boat ramp there, and it's right underneath the lighthouse. And if you haven't done a tour of the lighthouse, I highly recommend it. The lighthouse I think it's next Saturday, actually has a free event where they're telling stories, historic stories, and I believe the lighthouse is open for free to the public, so you want to check that out. That's next weekend at the lighthouse. But by utilizing that dinghy dock, it cuts out some steps, and it gives you great access to the events, or to the stores, shops, and attractions south of the city. This includes the amphitheater, which we talked about before. They have that great farmers market on Saturdays. You also have the Surf Station Surf Shop. This is a full-service surf shop. They handle stand-up paddleboards, kayaks, surfboards, and all your beach apparel. Go in there and ask for Tori. Tell him you heard about him on the Cruiser's Net, and they'll take real good care of you. Also up there is the Alligator Farm, some of our oldest residents. We have a mini golf course. We actually have a skating rink up there, as well as a chocolate factory and several shops and stores and restaurants that are south of the city. By utilizing that dinghy dock up the Salt Run area, gives you great access, cut out some of those steps to check out the attractions and shops and stores south of the city. Also up Salt Run, you'll see that large marina up there. This is the number 2. This is the second of our big 3 marinas located here in St. Augustine. This is a very popular marina with the locals, and I've heard it called several different things, so I'll go ahead and put the correct pronunciation out there over the radio. It is the Conch House Marina. I've heard conch, I've heard all kinds of things. But they call it the Conch House Marina, and it's a local favorite here in St. Augustine. The Conch House Marina is a full-service marina. They offer fuel sales, diesel sales, as well as transient dockage and pump-out services. More importantly, the Conch House Marina has a very popular tiki bar that's located right on their dock. It's very popular. You can go there for happy hour, check out the catch that comes back from the charter boats. They usually have live music there. It really is a great scene. I highly recommend checking out the Conch House Marina. They also have a full restaurant that overlooks the beautiful waters of Salt Run there. And you have outside dining. You can actually sit in a little out on their deck and just overlook Salt Run. There's nothing like it. The Conch House Marina is a very busy marina. Very busy, especially on the weekends. There's so many people that go to the restaurant, the bar. It's very busy. And remember, we get those really strong currents in St. Augustine. So I highly recommend calling the Conch House Marina on their channel, channel 69. That's their direct contact channel. They also monitor channel 16. The folks over there at the Concourse Marina are very professional, very helpful, and they can offer more help for you if you contact them and let them know before you get there so they can make sure you have adequate assistance when you get to the dock. So make sure you give the Concourse a call on channel 69 before you arrive there. They can make sure you have lots of help and assistance when you get to the dock. That's the Concourse Marina. A very popular thing for boaters to do on pretty days is explore the backside of that Anastasia Island. When you're leaving the Salt Run area, if you're heading northbound, you're in the Salt Run Canal or Channel, and you're just about to get to the main ship channel, main channel, ICW channel, the inlet there. Off to your right, off your starboard side, you'll see a little beach there. This is a very popular little beach for our local boating community. They love to go there and explore. It's a great place to go and beach your boat, just kind of hang out, watch the day go by. Anchor 8 is usually out there on the weekends with their sandbar patrol. This weekend we're expecting some rain, so Kelly and I are going to be out at we're going to go out there and spend a little time at the sandbar today. So if you're out and about, we'll look for you over there at the Salt Run Sandbar today. And back to the inlet. And when you're inbound into St. Augustine, there's nothing like it. You got the cross blessing the harbor. You got the fort protecting the area. You got the lighthouse guiding your way. I mean, this is a magical inlet coming into an amazing city. People have been doing it for 200 years. From pirates to conquistadors and everything in between. To see the city from the water's point of view, it truly is amazing. So when you come in here, you're cruising in, you see the fort there, you see all the boats anchored up behind the fort there, and the mooring field behind the fort, along the bayfront area there, north of the Bridge of Lions. This is what it's all about. This is St. Augustine. This is the San Marco mooring field. This is the city's mooring field. And it's the mooring field north of the Bridge of Lions. We also have a mooring field south of the Bridge of Lions, which is called the Menendez mooring field. That Bridge of Lions, I call it the crown jewel of St. Augustine. It's one of the most recognizable structures here in St. Augustine in North Florida. And it's a very busy bridge. That bridge opens on a schedule of every hour on the hour and on the half hour. In simple terms, big hand on the 12, big hand on the 6. The Bridge of Lions monitors channel 09, as well as all bridges in the state of Florida monitor channel 09. Please remember, we get those strong currents here in St. Augustine, and most people don't realize that if you ride in with the flood and then you've got to wait 15 minutes for a bridge opening, that's when you realize you got that 4.5 knot current on your stern. You want to make sure that you use caution and prepare accordingly for the currents here at St. Augustine. And also, please remember to watch your wakes. When you're cruising around here, we got people on all those mooring balls and then the anchorages, and we got people at the city marinas and all the different marinas here in town. So let's please remember to be courteous with our wakes when we're boating in and around St. Augustine. Just south of the Bridge of Lions on our western bank, that is our third of our big 3 marinas here at St. Augustine. And this is the St. Augustine Municipal Marina. This is a large, full-service, very busy marina. It is the city's marina. I call it the doorstep to the city. St. Augustine Municipal Marina is a full-service marina. They offer transient dockage. They also have fuel sales, diesel sales, pump-out services, both mobile and dockside. They also offer a great shuttle service to our downtown mooring fields. Those are the 2 mooring fields downtown, the Menendez Field and the San Marco Field. I highly recommend you check that out. This is a great service provided by the city of St. Augustine. It's run by our very professional ambassadors that work at the city marina. They're very professional, and they will pick you up or drop you off at your boat. with this complimentary service, and it starts daily at 10 a.m. and it runs till 6 p.m. and it runs at 2-hour intervals. The St. Augustine Municipal Marina also offers a mobile pump out service. They'll come to your boat in the mooring field and anchorages, and for a small fee, they'll give you a pump out. They do like to do this service early in the morning, so I highly recommend calling very early to schedule it, or just call the day before and schedule it for the next morning. Those of you not staying in the mooring fields and still like to utilize the dinghy dock, the doorstep to the city, you can purchase a daily dinghy pass from the St. Augustine Municipal Marina. This gives you access to the lounge, showers, and the laundry room, as well as the doorstep to the city, the dinghy dock. St. Augustine Municipal Marina is a very busy marina. This is an extremely busy marina, especially on the weekends. I highly recommend that if you're going to be utilizing this municipal marina for any services, I would call them prior to your arrival and state your intentions. Their direct channel, the channel that they monitor, is channel 71 for the St. Augustine Municipal Marina. Staff there, they are ambassadors to the city. They're very helpful. They can give you all kinds of insight and share all kinds of information with you. But they can only do that if you call them and let them know what you need. So make sure you give them a shout. That way you can make sure that you have proper assistance when you get to the dock. Remember, we do get those strong currents in and around the city of St. Augustine. We talked about that mooring field just south of the city. That's a Menendez mooring field. Just be advised, there's a very well-marked shoal, both with channel markers and on your chart plotter, that is at the in the Menendez mooring field. It's not a big deal, but you want to check it out and do your homework before doing your arrival or departures to the Menendez mooring field, especially at any type of minus tides, any kind of lower tides. South of the city, you'll see that fixed bridge. That fixed bridge is 312. That's the 312 bridge. And just before you go into that 312 bridge, if you're southbound, you'll see a set of channel markers off your starboard side. That is the San Sebastian River. That's where I'm broadcasting live from this morning. The San Sebastian River is a little river that runs up the back spine of the western side of the downtown St. Augustine area. It's a great place to explore. It has lots of shops, stores, restaurants. Also has full-service boat yards. Has the Marina Munch here at English Landing, where I'm broadcasting from this morning. They'll be having their jam session this evening at 6 o'clock. A great way to check out the stores and attractions west of the city is to check out the Cat's Paw Marina. You'll see that marina. As soon as you turn up the San Sebastian River, you'll see the Cat's Paw Marina. This is where we're having our event next Tuesday, our Cruisers Night Out at the Grouper Shack. And they have a long daily dock that you can use to explore the attractions, stores, and restaurants west of the city. This is at the Cat's Paw Marina. And also the Grouper Shack that's right there on their property. If you give them your information, your contact information, they allow us to use that dock for daily dockage, and you can explore some of the shops, stores, and restaurants west of the city. This does include Home Depot, Target, West Marine. Go see Stephanie at West Marine, as well as Pet Supermarket, Winn-Dixie, and lots of other stores, restaurants, and shops. Most importantly, remember, San Sebastian River is home to a lot of our liveaboards. A lot of people that made St. Augustine their home live up there. It's kind of a narrow river, so please watch your wake when you're going up the San Sebastian River. Really watch your wakes all around the city of St. Augustine. Remember to be courteous and take it all in slowly. You don't want to miss anything. There's a lot to see here. Well, hopefully some of that information was useful for you. You can find out more information about the local area by checking out that St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. Going to take a quick break, catch my breath. We're going to come back, have our daily blessing, and close the show. Please stand by. Welcome back, boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing morning this morning in St. Augustine, Florida, our nation's oldest city. My name is Brian Bliss, and I'm broadcasting live this morning for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network. This is our last day of April's broadcast. Tomorrow will be the first day of May. Remember to get out there and enjoy this beautiful city. Remember to check out those websites that I told you about. Visit staugustine.com and theamp.com, as well as our St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. We hope to see you guys around, we hope to see you next Tuesday at the Cruisers Nights Out, or Day Out at the Grouper Shack. Now, we do this broadcast every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, every day that has a T in it. Kelly and I do this, and Anchor Eats, so we have a pretty full plate. We'd love to get the broadcast to every day. If you'd like to do a broadcast from your boat, whether a regular day or just a special day, you can reach out to me, Brian Bliss, or any one of our volunteers on the Cruisers Network. We'd love to have you join in and share information with the group. You can do it your own style. You don't have to do it this long. You can do it as short as you want, or however you want to do it. And then if you need help, I can give you a script or whatever you need. The more information we can share with our boating community, the more helpful it is. Now, if talking on the radio is not your thing and you'd love to host an event, we have had vessels host the broadcast team there. Kelly and I come to the boat. Anchor Eats usually provides breakfast. We've done it from the Black Raven pirate ship. We've done it from the Cover Girl motor yacht. We've done it from the sailing vessel Chloe and the sailing vessel Sensation. So it's a lot of fun. If you'd like us to come to your boat, do the broadcast, and share the message with the boating community from your boat, please reach out to me or any one of the volunteers on the Cruisers Network. And then those of you that missed any portion of this morning's broadcast, or if you'd like to hear Tuesday's broadcast where I talk a lot more about some of the services that are available in the St. Augustine area, remember to check out that Anchor Eats YouTube channel. It's the Anchor Eats Boating Bliss YouTube channel. They post all of the previous past Cruisers Network broadcasts. So stand by for this morning's blessing. May your boat fill with insight, laughter, generosity, and love as you explore the wide expanse of memory and nature. April's lessons will shape May's blessings. As this month fades, may your growth continue into the warmer days ahead. Remember to be kind to others. and to live your life properly. Make amazing memories while you're here in the ancient city. And above all, remember this. Others dream of the lives that we live. We are all truly blessed. Whether you're a sailboater, powerboater, fisherman, pirate, kayaker, work in marinas, whatever you do in the boating world, we are all blessed to be part of the boating family. We are all stewards of the sea. I'd like to thank everybody for listening this morning. Remember, we're going to have some weather this weekend. It's much needed rain. So get out today and tomorrow and enjoy the beautiful weather. Special thanks to Admiral Yacht Sales for providing this wonderful boat for us to do the broadcast from, and Anchor Eats for sponsoring this morning's broadcast. Remember to get out there and enjoy St. Augustine. It's an amazing city, or even better yet, it's a wonderful city to sit on the back of your boat and just read a book and just take it all in. It's just an amazing city.